Babe, you're supposed to back out of those type of things. Oh.
Like that?
Alright guys, so on my last video, I had someone ask about possibly doing a rig review on my RC4WD Gelande II Cruiser. Apparently there's not a whole lot of content for these on YouTube, so yeah, why not? Let's do it. As you guys know, I went up to Rausch Creek last weekend, so I snatched this truck up and another rig, and I got some action footage, which we'll get into shortly. I figure you guys are going to want to see that more so than me rambling about the truck. But we'll do a little rig review, fill you in on this thing, and we'll go from there. So, this is my RC4WD Gelande II Cruiser. For those of you that don't know, this body was actually based off of a toy grade kit that was offered by a Japanese toy company. I believe it's pronounced Ashimo. I could be saying it wrong. And it was a very hard to come by, very expensive body to obtain. If you were like a scale, guru like me, it would cost like $300–400. So when RC4WD came out with their version, it was awesome because you could pretty much buy the entire kit, and it wasn't toy grade, and it's a lot more detailed. You got the removable roof, which I thought was a really cool feature. I love to run this thing with the roof off during the better months, just like you would if it was the real deal. And the one thing I really like about this cruiser is the majority of the things I have on this thing are offered from RC4WD. So it's one of those kits that's very detailed, and if you're more concerned about realism than performance, this is like a great kit for that. I'm not saying it's the worst performer, but it's certainly not the best performer. It's also really heavy with all the things I have onto it, done to it or whatever. But yeah, so I got the RC4WD cage, RC4WD tough armor front bumper, rear bumper set up with the swing out spare and swing out cargo rack. I got the high lift on there. And one of the biggest things you'll probably notice with this truck is that it is indeed leaf sprung. To me, that was pretty important. The whole 4-link thing just wasn't for me. The majority of Land Cruisers, at least in this style of build, would have leaf springs still. At the time when I did do the leaf spring conversion on this, RC4WD didn't have their conversion kit out. So they do have that out now, so that's a great option for guys that didn't want to figure out or start drilling the chassis and all that stuff. But mine I kept relatively simple. It's got Chino leaf springs under it, front and rear with the U-bolt kit. And I found some pretty cool brackets that were on eBay for the rear spring perch mounts. And in the back, it's just TF2 shackles. In the front, I got some old school bruiser shackles. That gave me the right lift and everything. And yeah, G-made wheels, RC4WD MTZ tires. Those tires are awesome. And they're a great size for this body. Really, as far as custom made parts on this thing, there really isn't much. I did the quarter guards and the rocker guards. They're just some Plastruct styrene that I initially traced with paper and then transferred it over to styrene, cut it out, secured them to the body with some locked up scale hardware, and gave the truck a great little look. Helps to break up the brown. And then I really just took my time with the interior. I used some of the stick-on felt from the Toyota anti-dash kit that I use in a lot of my Toyota scalers. But you could also obtain the same look by doing a flocking kit on it. It's got Rich's rear floor pan in there and his seat backings just for some added realism. Part of my noob, sorry, should probably mention that. It's got the RC4WD winch, Old Man Emu shocks, and it's got the scale hubcaps by part of my noob. Literally as I was doing the video, one of them popped off. I just hold them out with a little dab of hot glue. And I've got the old generation RC4WD hub sticking through to give it that scale accurate look of the real lockouts. A couple of 3D printed items. I've got the exclusive RC lighted CB radio in there and the winch controller for inside the truck to match up with the winch. It's got the CC hand exhaust out back, which is a cool little touch. I mean, you could easily make it yourself, but sometimes my time is limited. Sometimes it's easier just to scoop something like that. CC hand snorkel. The flex on the truck for having the leaf springs is pretty good. It's realistic to what I think the real truck would actually be like. So yeah, it's a cool little truck. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna go out and win comps with it by any means, but If you're more concerned about the realism factor and just having something that's like really scale, I mean, this is a great kit, super detailed. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop it in the comments, and I'll get you guys into some running footage of this thing. Got to take it out with the Marlin TF2 edition, and got to run some of the comp course at Rausch Creek with it. So yeah, enjoy. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Remember to like and subscribe. And yeah, thanks guys.